You're live, Chair.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the meeting of the North West Area Planning Committee. The first item of business is the election of a chairperson. I'm sitting here just as the vice chairman, so temporarily. So could I have nominations for the position of chairman, please?
I propose Councillor Thompson.
Thank you very much. Second, thank you very much. Are there any further nominations? Thank you. In that case, I declare myself chairman of this committee. That means the next item of business is to call for nominations for the position of vice chairman of the committee, and from the chair, I nominate Councillor Durham.
Seconded.
Thank you. Any further nominations? In that case, I declare Councillor Durham to be vice chairman of the committee. Thank you very much, everyone. Much appreciated. It's good to be back. Right, so my name is Councillor Maddie Thompson. I am now the chairman of the committee. Before we commence the rest of the business of the meeting, there are a few housekeeping issues to run through. We're streaming this meeting live as well as recording, and by being present in the meeting, you are giving your consent to being recorded. When invited to speak, please turn on your microphone, speak clearly, referencing a page or paragraph number when referring to the agenda papers. Keep your contributions as clear and concise as possible, and ensure your microphones remain off when not speaking, as this is important for the live streaming to be heard clearly. Finally, can I draw your attention to the notices on the agenda papers regarding the different levels within the chamber, and advise that the fire exit is the door behind this top table. Members may also draw your attention to the members' update with further information on item 6 on the agenda, which has in fact been withdrawn. Item 2 on the agenda is apologies for absence. I'm pleased to say there are none. We're a full house, which takes us to the minutes of the meeting held on the 10th of January, found on pages 7 to 16, that they be approved as a true and accurate record. May I take them as read? Agreed. Are they agreed by assent? Do we need to propose it? Right, I'll pass on the proposing and seconding. They're agreed by assent. Thank you. Item 5 is declarations of interest. I have to read this bit, I'm afraid. To disclose the existence and nature of any disclosable pecuniary interests, other registrable interests and non-registrable interests relating to items of business on the agenda, having regard to paragraph 9 and appendix B of the Code of Conduct for members. And members are reminded they're also required to disclose any such interests as soon as they become aware, should the need arise through the meeting. Councillor Durham.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, it dawns on me that I have a pecuniary interest in item 7, being a professional funeral celebrant. So I will have to go home.
That's a great shame. Have you taken advice? Because we're talking about the footpaths, not the planning permission.
Well, it is in relation. It's
yeah,
in relation to.
That's absolutely your decision. I'm not querying that.
It is involving the crematorium site, so I see that as being
that's
a
fine,
pecuniary
and I'm
interest.
sorry you've come all this way for.
So am I,
just
Chairman.
To say that.
Oh, okay.
Item 6 would have been an application in Honeypot Lane, Purleigh, but this has been withdrawn for the reasons given in the update, which takes us to item 7, land opposite St Margaret's Church, Maldon Road, Woodham, Mortimer. So could we have the presentation, please?
Thank you, Chairman. Good evening, members. So this is an application that has been made to the council to divert a section of footpath 26917 of Woodham Mortimer leading south from the Maldon Road. That is a plan showing the location of the footpath, the subject of the application. The purpose of the diversion is as a result of plan permission having been granted for crematorium and associated works on the site, and the footpath goes right through the middle of it. So and that's identified with the solid black line through the middle diagonally across the site. The proposed diversion route is the black dashed line, which mainly goes along the edge of the site and then links back up with the current route of footpath 17 at the southern point down here. That's just another plan showing the same thing really. So this is the approved site layout for the crematorium. The red line diagonal across the site is the route of the definitive route of the footpath as it exists. This is an aerial photo again showing the footpath route, and then just some photos from the main road looking across the field in a southerly direction, showing the footpath as it is now, and there's the finger post sign there. So the process has started in that the county council, on our behalf, or the council's behalf, has carried out some informal consultations. So the purpose of the report and the request tonight for a resolution is to start the formal process, whereby the formal people, the public, etc., will be formally consulted on the proposed route, and then if no objections are received, then, or that certainly raise any material issues in relation to the footpath diversion, that the footpath diversion is confirmed. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, we don't have public speakers on, members of the public speaking on these items, so members, Councillor Morgan.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I propose that we accept the officer's recommendation.
Thank you. That's seconded by Councillor White. Anyone wish to speak to the Councillor Stevens?
Thank you, Chair. I did have a couple of questions, actually. I feel a bit sort of bamboozled by this because we can't really say no, and I don't understand why this application wasn't put in at the same time as the application for the cemetery grounds in the first place. So I'd like to know just if we know why that happened. And secondly, will there be anything to physically stop people more or less following the old route? Because I'm not so fussed about it if actually people can walk along the old route anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, through Chairman. The legislation that covers diversion of footpaths is different to the planning legislation. So there's separate permissions, or two permissions that are needed. One, the planning permission, and also the consent to divert the footpath. They're not often made at the same time, because if planning permission was refused, then there wouldn't have been any need for the footpath diversion. So what tends to happen is that developers get the permission, the planning permission, and then if that's approved and they want to go ahead with the development, they will put in an application for a diversion order. This has been in a while, but it's just that for one reason or another it hasn't actually got to this point in the process until now. But I mean, works have started on site, so they're definitely carrying on, and they do need the footpath diverting if they're going to complete the development in accordance with their permission that's been granted. Does that answer your question?
Thank you. Yes, it seems a strange way of going about it, because to put in an application for a footpath diversion has got to be cheaper than the other application. So I don't really understand it, but okay. And if you could just advise, will people still be able to roughly walk along the old route anyway? Thank you.
Through Chairman, this is the approved layout, which the main points of conflict are with the access point here, which is exactly where the footpath comes in from, or starts from the road, and obviously crosses the car park here. But it's privately owned land, so that would be up to the landowner whether they allowed it or physically restricted it. But well, if the members of the public wanted to carry on walking down that route, they would be potentially trespassing and going on land that they don't have the permission to do, because the Public Rights Way gives members of the public rights to go across private land legally, but so they would be doing so at their own risk and at the discretion and the well, I can't think of the right word, but at the will, if you like, of the landowner.
Thank you. Councillor Siddle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question is, how quickly will this go through? Because the building work has already started, and it's if people are using the existing right of way, it's going to be a danger to them. So, how quickly, and will this be expedited to ensure the safety of the public?
Ms Matthews.
Through Chairman, the process will take as long as it takes, and it needs to take. There will be there's statutory procedures that the county will need to go through. There will be a minimum period of time where a period of consultation for members of the public and the Ramblers and any other interest groups, the parish council included, to comment. And then depending what comes out of that, if nobody objects, then it would normally be a fairly straightforward process following that for the diversion to be confirmed. If there are objections, then the process will be quite extensive. There would need to be a public inquiry. So we'll be talking months if there are objections. The developer, if they want to carry on with the development and if they want to block the definitive route, the footpath, they do so at their own risk, and there are powers the county council has to require them to keep the definitive route open and safe for use for the members of the public. So that will be an issue between the developer and the county council if issues do arise, but hopefully they won't.
Interesting. You want to come back?
Well, having been on the site, I don't think the definitive route is there anymore. So, so obviously that's down to the landowner.
Yes, through Chairman, I did notice that when I went past it yesterday, and my intention was to, if members agree with the recommendation tonight, is when the next email to county to say yes, carry on, is to draw their attention to it. If they're not already aware, they may well already be aware and maybe on it. Okay.
Councillor Stevens.
Thank you. I feel really bad about saying this, but I'm going to say it. This application was received in March 2023. So I think I owe somebody an apology, because I was just saying, if it was me, I'd have done this application first. Well, I think somebody did. So really, we've sat on this application for 11 months, and or 10 something months. I don't like being bamboozled into having to say yes, although I can see that that's the way that we're going. Thank you.
Well, at the moment, we're only allowing the process to go ahead, and I'm unclear myself why it isn't delegated to officers in the first place, but that's something for another meeting, as to be honest, is your statement. So, members, can we go to a vote on this? Those in favour of agreeing the officer's recommendation? Nobody against, because all those hands went up. Thank you very much. The last item is items of business the chairman of the committee decides are urgent. You'll be pleased to hear there are none at all, and we finish what I'm sure it actually is record time at 7:43. I don't think we've ever done that before.
No, there was another one that was pretty similar.